They worked in silence, in near total darkness, surrounded by stacks of reports listing ships sunk, planes down, lives saved. They were a secret team of codebreakers during World War II, tasked with cracking one of the most sophisticated ciphers in history. Their work shortened a global conflict and laid the groundwork for the digital age. But today few know their names, so let's meet them. It's me. This is Secret History, where I bring you the untold stories that shaped our world. And this is the weird origin story of Sextant to GPS. Before satellites, before smartphones, there was Sextant, a machine so secretive its existence was classified for decades. The year was 1932 and German engineers had just unveiled the Enigma machine, a device that would become the most advanced encryption technology of its day. The Germans used it to encrypt everything from military plans to shipping routes to artillery fire. It was a mechanical marvel capable of generating billions of letter combinations every second, making it virtually unbreakable. But they weren't worried about that because at the time, the British Royal Navy had a decoding device of their own called the Sextant, which was effective against basic codes but was useless against Enigma. For years, the Germans operated under the impression that no one could crack their codes, sending messages freely across the Atlantic Ocean. That was until September 3, 1936, when a Polish intelligence officer named Jig Thayer presented his nation's leaders with a potentially world-changing discovery. He'd managed to decrypt a message sent on Enigma. The British and French were notified, and the race was on to develop a machine capable of doing what Thayer had done manually. After failed attempts from Poland and France, Britain turned to one man who was considered the world's leading expert in deciphering codes, mathematician and logician Alan Turing. By all accounts, Turing was something of a prodigy. He'd already made significant contributions to mathematics and had even helped design Britain's first bomb, an early cipher-breaking machine. But now, he faced his greatest challenge yet, breaking the seemingly unbreakable Enigma code. In today's world, data is king and keeping it secure is paramount. That's why it's great to partner with this episode's sponsor, DVPN, who helps keep your browsing activity away from prying eyes. As soon as I discovered I could browse the entire internet through a VPN, I knew it was a game changer. Now I can access content anywhere, anytime. You can safeguard sensitive information like passwords and credit card details. Plus, you get ad-free streaming and even prevent annoying regional restrictions from ruining your binge double. Hatching sessions. DVPN is super easy to use. Just download and install it on any device. Log in and click the Quick Connect button, and it works on all platforms. That's Mac, Windows, Linux, Android, iOS, you name it. And did I mention they have a 30-day money-back guarantee and 24/7 customer support? What are you waiting for? Head to NORDVPN, com Secret History to sign up. It takes just a minute and you'll be supporting the channel too. In December 1938, Turing and his team moved into a secluded mansion in Bletchley Park, Buckinghamshire, where they would spend the next 6 years in near total darkness, working around the clock to break Enigma. When Turing arrived, there were only a handful of staff members, but within months, Bletchley Park had become home to more than 10,000 military personnel and civilians, all working in near complete secrecy. The operation was so hush-hush that many workers didn't even know what they were breaking. Codes that Turing's team received daily from intelligence officers were simply labeled as sensors. All anyone knew was that the machines in the huts were important, very important. Many of the workers referred to them as the queer machines. But despite the secrecy, word began to spread about the strange goings-on at Bletchley Park. Locals reported seeing men in odd outfits scurrying through the trees, carrying briefcases and whispering urgently into phones. Some said the workers were spies. Others claimed they were mad. Over the years, Bletchley Park grew from a single hut with a handful of men to a hive of activity with women, working alongside men, operating teletypewriters, deciphering messages and plugging away at the latest computers. By 1942, Turing's team had successfully deciphered Enigma's encryption process, and the Poles had provided them with critical components, allowing them to build the bomb, a machine capable of testing thousands of potential code settings per second. Previously, this would have taken days or even weeks. Suddenly, it seemed the impossible had become possible. With the bomb's help, the British were able to decode German messages almost instantly, giving them the upper hand in the war. For example, thanks to these new machines, the British knew exactly where and when the German battleship Bismarck would sail, ultimately helping the Royal Navy sink it. In fact, historians estimate that by the end of the war, Turing's team had decoded over 20 million messages, helping to shorten the conflict by 2 years and save millions of lives. But perhaps the most incredible thing about the bomb is that for decades afterward, most people didn't even know it existed. In fact, the British government kept secret the fact that they had been decoding German messages throughout the war, leading many to believe that Allied victories were simply the result of dumb luck. Even after the war ended, the work at Bletchley Park continued. The team was given new challenges, keeping tabs on Soviet Russia and uncovering secrets from behind the Iron Curtain. But as the Cold War heated up, so did tensions between the US and the UK over who would succeed the Germans as the dominant power in Europe. And the British government wanted to make sure the US wasn't sharing any of their hard-earned secrets with Moscow. In 1947, Prime Minister Clement Attlee ordered the destruction of all evidence related to code breaking at Bletchley Park. Overnight, the huts were emptied and the bombs dismantled. Almost everything was destroyed except for a few select documents that were locked away in government archives. The story of Bletchley Park remained classified for decades, with many of those who worked there having to lie to friends and family about their wartime activities. It wasn't until the 1990s that the British government declassified documents relating to Enigma and Bletchley Park, and since then, the site has become a museum open to the public. So if you ever find yourself in the area, I highly recommend checking it out. It's a fascinating place to learn more about this little-known chapter in history. Now, back to the show. In hindsight, it's clear that Turing's work at Bletchley Park was nothing short of genius. He developed concepts that are now fundamental to how computers work, such as the idea of storing data in binary code and using algorithms to manipulate the data. In fact, it's no exaggeration to say that Turing's work paved the way for modern computers. His ideas were revolutionary and would eventually lead to the creation of the electronic computers we rely on today. Tragically, Turing's brilliance was never fully recognized during his lifetime. In fact, in 1952, he was prosecuted for gross indecency after he entered into a relationship with a man. At the time, this was illegal in the UK, and Turing was given the choice of prison time or chemical castration. He chose the latter and died from cancer in 1954, just 2 years later. Despite the tragedy of Turing's life and the efforts to erase Bletchley Park from history, the legacy of both lives on today. We use computers every day without realizing that they wouldn't exist without the work done there. And the story of Bletchley Park is finally getting the attention it deserves as a vital part of our digital history. So what do you think? Did you know about the work done at Bletchley Park? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want to learn more about Alan Turing, I highly recommend the book by Andrew Hodges or the film The Imitation Game, starring Benedict Cumberbatch. Both are excellent resources to better understand the brilliant mind that was Alan Turing. And if you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to subscribe for more untold stories from history's hidden heroes. Thanks for joining me on this journey through time. Until next time, remember to stay curious and keep asking questions about the past. Who knows what fascinating discoveries you might uncover.